Good morning, people of God. It seems as if I didn't get no opposition yesterday from the spiritual realm. I think that's a good thing. So last night I had one little, kind of this morning I had a little dream that, I was put in like an embarrassing situation where my weave was taken off my hair and I had to go up front and this and that and this and that. However, however, this person from the audience was still cheering for me. His name was Travis. I remember Travis when I was in school. So I was like, you can't see. So now I up to the front because they called me to the front for something, but I didn't get for a job, but I didn't get the job. However, they waste my time. So then I was upset and I ended up leaving. Well, whilst I was up to the front, I hear somebody scream my name from the audience, and it was Travis. So Travis ran up to the front, to support me and however, and I was happy. I was like, gee, even though my hair basically, I up to the front here with no waves, just my plaits in my hair. Travis still supports me or loves me or however. So I walk outside, and Travis come running outside behind me, right? So I was like, can't you see my hair is a mess and this and that? I trying to run out of this place or whatever because I in this embarrassing situation. However, people of God, I was like, what the hell is dreaming? And then I say, you know what, sometimes it don't always be you. So, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, it may be my husband. It may be something that the enemy is doing, trying to embarrass my husband or make him look bad, but baby, that's mine. That's mine, baby. Ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. We still the Saxon, huh? Ain't nothing changed, baby. However that come, that's mine. Huh? I don't care how he look. Good day, bad day, that's mine. I don't tell you all at the end of the day, I say, don't matter if you feel like you're pretty, don't matter if you feel like you're ugly. Once you get the one God have for you, you go live your merry life with your ugly family. You go live your merry life with your pretty family. No difference. As long as you feel loved and you can enjoy the quality of life. Whatever God got for me, I want it. And I gonna love that. I just saying. I just saying. Me, I in love. I feel like love is spiritual. Love goes beyond the physical. Love is spiritual. Okay? I'm in love with my husband's spirit and his voice too. I just want to say that when I see people on my TikTok doing, things for God, I see this be having their walks and stuff and different stuff. And especially when they do something extremely off the wall and different, like walking down the road, carrying the cross, and, proclaiming Jesus, that really inspires me, people of God. That really inspires me to know that the world out there, people still love God. Huh?
Jesus, the way, the truth, the life. Amen.
Hey, it's written Jesus came not to condemn the world, but to save it. This isn't God. This is.
Jesus. Let's go.
Carry on smartly. Carry on smartly. And I have something to say about, one of my videos, I talked about the disrespect in the pulpit and stuff like that. I feel as if, the churches get desperate because, like the Bible says, ain't enough laborers. So the churches get desperate. This is my advice for the church. If the pastor leave and there's nobody up to standard, because personally everybody know their life and their desires. They know their intentions. You know, when you're doing SHIT, you don't have no intentions to change your horrid ways. You know, you still are scandaling and whatever. Don't go on God pulpit. Decline. You don't gotta tell nobody why you decline. Decline because you know what's going on in your life. Because you only is hurt God in the process of your mess. Because this will be the same people who will say, man, this was the man who was preaching, who was able to preach. So I would give this advice to the pastors of your church and things like that. When you're leaving and you don't have nobody, make it a praise and worship day. Praise and worship is be so good. Have praise and worship all day. Have couple flicking, not all day, but through the church service. Let the dancers do 1 or 2 dances. Do the praise and worship for extended period of time, and also think of other creative things to do in the church. I realized in my church change ministries, when they having Mother's Day and Father's Day and things like that, they have a panelist come up and they ask questions. Carry on and carry out with things like that. When the pastor is absent, let people come up and just give them questions and scenarios of how you would deal with. It could be made up scenarios you could ask your fellow Christians. Have the panelists. What would you do in this situation? How can you encourage people in this situation? Everything ain't always gotta be about preaching. If ain't nobody worthy to come up behind the pastor and preach, you'll carry on with the service smartly the best way you could. Praise and worship on fleek. Let somebody flicking come up, let 1 or 2 people come up and sing, and show their talent in other ways or however. But don't disgrace God's pulpit. That's my 5 cents. And I ain't trying to put down no individual, because just keep striving and coming. That's what I want to say to the people who out of order. Keep striving and coming to God. Keep trying, keep praying. Next topic. The other day when I was feeling like, I was unsure, I questioned in myself if I should say unsure. Like, did you want, excuse me, Lord. You really unsure, Kristen? However, when I was saying I was unsure if my landlord was onto me the other day, listen to me. I feel like that shake my whole flicking world for a second, because I say, see, this is the same shit. I was so upset. I was like, this is the same shit, man. I say, where you turn? Where you could turn? That started to trouble me. Because, you start feeling surrounded. I mean, I just saying in the event, in the situation that my landlord or however was, people of God, these people has come with the good and the bad. I just saying, that really shift my mindset for a minute, and then I had to get a grip on. You gotta be able to get a grip on your mindset. Get a grip on your mind. You don't usurp authority over the mind and say, listen to me. Let me tell you all the thing that motivated me in that time. The thing that when I was feeling surrounded by the enemy, I said, you know what God said? Let them grow together.
The parable of the
The scripture
weeds.
where there was God was the planter of good seeds, and the devil come and plant the demonic seeds and whatever, and they start growing together. I had to remember that God say, let them grow together. That means that we will be among these people who are doing wrong. We will be among them, but we ought to be strong enough to withstand in the middle of it all. Let them grow together for now. Now we're getting wisdom on Satan's system. We are learning how to maneuver around the enemy. How to use our knowledge and our wisdom to be wiser than them. Okay? And know how to work around them. Whilst we have to be amongst them in this time frame, in this season. Because God said a day where He will separate the wheat from the tares. He will separate the weeds, bound them up, and let them go to flicking
That
head.
shall clean out the bad weeds, yeah, and separate them from the good, cause today a harvest is here. Whoa, 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 oh. That shall clean out the bad weeds, yeah, and separate them from the good, cause today a harvest is here. Whoa, 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 oh, whoa, oh.
So we just waiting for that day, so that day to come where God separates us from enemies, and the Egyptians you see today and the wicked people you see today, you will see no more.
Do not be afraid. Stand firm, and you will see the Lord's salvation today.
The Egyptians you see today, you will never see again.
The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still.
That encouraged me and motivate me. Confirmation burp off camera. I say, because I was starting to feel consumed. I say, Kristen, ain't no day like it, ain't no time for that. Hold on. Because, where I live in and whatever is a big part of my life and things like that. I say, Kristen, if you could have make it in the middle of Sunderland, if you could have get yourself grounded in the middle of Sunderland, you could ground yourself now. You could take control of your mind now. If you could have taken control of your mind in Sunderland and take control of your environment in Sunderland, if you could have break through in the midst of Sunderland and find peace, you could find peace in any situation.
Adjust and find your peace.
Y'all know what I did back in Sunderland. I isolated myself until I was mentally ready to come to some kind of acceptance. And I guess that's what I did again. I came to an acceptance that we have to be among the weeds.
Among the wicked.
But now we are no longer in the dark. And always remembering that your life was always the same. You was always surrounded by the enemy. You just didn't know. Only difference is now you know. So now you know how to hold your tongue and don't tell these people and wicked people and things like that your business. And XYZ. When I was awakening and I realized that I was being followed, I feel like people of God, like when I wake up, I could see how people, how the devil and the enemy was having me like followed. And I was like, they're monitoring spirits. And, this is when I was first waking up and having my little freaking out session, realizing what was going on in the world. And then my mommy would say, you always had monitoring spirits around you. You always had them. You just was, you didn't know. Ignorant to the fact. Ain't nothing changed. You always had challenges, people of God. Children of God, these people was always scamming and digging ditches for you. You just was falling in them all. These people was always digging ditches for me. I always, because my good ways and good morals safeguarded me from falling in the ditches. So now that we are awake, we are just a little bit more wiser not to fall in the ditches. And deal with having to be amongst these people until God makes the separation, okay?
And pray against spiritual warfare.
This morning, I flicking warm up my food, get up to warm my food from what I had from yesterday. I realized that I have a completely different fork than I had him. It wasn't in my plate. Yesterday, my fork was black. Okay? A black fork. When I wake up this morning, a white fork was in the bag with my food. And I noticed that, people of God, the enemy always is too shit. So you could see, they want you to see and feel intimidated of how close they coming to you. And how, they want you to feel like they powerful and shit like that. Remember the video where I throw some in the garbage long ago, and when I come back in my car, they had the shit when I throw in the garbage in my car, and I fucking laugh at the enemy. Because you coming close, but almost doesn't fucking count. Because you coming close and you got your barriers and you got your boundaries up, huh? You only could go so far. Okay? So don't let the small things intimidate you. And another thing, because almost doesn't count. Because if they coulda, they fucking woulda. So I laugh in the face of the enemy when I see how close you come. And it wasn't enough. And that's all you do? You mean to tell me all you do is change my fork? People of God, also, stop questioning yourself. Let your brain do its job. They always want you to question yourself and question your memory. When you are in doubt, your brain don't be in doubt. You got the signal. You were signified that there was a change. That's why you had that sudden moment of, hold on, this was like this. There has been a change. So don't question yourself. No matter what nobody tell you or whatever, because you got the enemies around you trying to sell you the dream that you're delusional and it ain't gone the way you say and it ain't gone. But you know when you in your right mind. You ain't gonna just say, hold on. If something ain't changed, your brain is working. Only you questioning yourself.
My blood cells, watching me pick off. The scab they've been working on for the past 28 hours. For the fourth time, the body is doing its job. At all times, trust the signals.
Stand firm in who you are and trusting in yourself. That's what I do. Christ, the solid fucking rock. Let them, the enemy, say whatever they want. Say, oh, the fork was white. Oh, okay. But but you aren't shaking my foundation. You can say what you like, do what you like, and it's still going my fucking way. And I still believe in what I believe because I believe that my brain is functioning and working as it should.
The king is coming.
Okay? Stop doubting yourself. That's a part of the enemy's job with surrounding around you to get you to doubt yourself and see yourself as confused and see yourself as crazy or however. No time. Christ, the solid fucking rock we stand on, people of God. At the end of the day, jumping back to something I talked about earlier, I eat my food in fucking peace. You can't let all these little shit bother fucking you. I eat my food in peace, and if I didn't, I just go on and get another spoon. However, but if I didn't have a fucking another spoon and that was the only thing I could eat, I would have washed that fucking off and eat my food with the white ass spoon. I ain't got time to let nobody run me up on breaks for a bunch of little dumb shit. Choose wisely what you get worked up about, okay? We have to, the job is to preserve your sanity and preserve your peace. This has been Mama Chris from Love Gone Viral, because I do love you with the love of God. But Michael, I love you with everything there is to possibly love with. I love you in every kind of way. Michael, I love you in every kind of way. Okay, baby? Hope to be in them arms soon. Hope to be in them lonely arms. Soon. Because we already know the answer. When Jesus says yes, nobody can say no.
I'm not worried.